we're now joined by Rachel Gazzaniga.
Yes, Gazzaniga.
Okay. Of USC Women's Water Polo. Rachel, the women of Troy are number 3 in the nation, riding a 6-game win streak. What's been working so well for you guys?
Well, we make a huge emphasis on the connection within our teammates and just like putting it all out there for each other. And so like during every practice, we want to make it as game-like as possible. So when we get to the game, it feels natural. And just knowing that we're all putting like all the effort we can for each other is really important.
Rachel, already a 2-time All-American. And I mean, when you hit the height of the sport already, how do you reset your goals every year to make sure you're still getting after it?
Well, I think just like never being satisfied. I have so many areas of growth that I just get excited every practice to improve on. And it's special because there's so many different aspects of water polo that I see the strengths of my other teammates and I can learn something from each and every one of them. And so it just makes it more exciting that there's so many places to learn.
You've been competing on the international stage, I believe, since 2022. What has that experience given you?
Well, there's like so many different aspects. I've never been pushed so hard mentally and physically. It's a lot of dedication, especially for time. And I've had to internationally, they're very aggressive. And so I've kind of had to up my aggressive game, which sometimes doesn't translate well into college because I tend to be one of the bigger ones. And so I can get into some trouble, not on purpose though. But I think what it's taught me is a lot of, self-discipline and just like never complaining, just keep your head down and work hard.
Obviously, a great program, USC Women's Water Polo. Every year is a different year. What's this team's motto, or what have you guys been trying to battle with this whole year as a team?
I think just because the past 2 years we've kind of struggled with, getting to the finish line, and USC has been known to win. That's something we're good at doing, like all around the board. But I think the past 2 years, we've kind of had to redefine ourselves, especially with the new head coach coming in. And so I think with this year, we're kind of, not the favorites anymore to win. So I think what's special is that we can just lay it all out on the line.
Underdog role?
Underdog, but still like there's that history of winning. So it's kind of a special situation in which we know what we can do, but maybe not everyone else believes in that on the outside. So just like believing we can.
You need your new head coach. What's it like working with Coach Casey?
It's been interesting because he was an assistant for so long, kind of like working together in how he wants to portray himself as a head coach and like the characteristics he wants to embody. And he's really selfless and working with us and like wanting to know how we think he can improve and how he think we can improve. It's a really special bond that we have.
Yeah, take us through your game a little bit. You mentioned it, how you can kind of adapt to the international, to college game. But what's your game personally? What's your strength of how you play?
Well, I'm a center defender, so I'm kind of more like the defensive focused. And I'm one of like the fastest swimmers on our team, so I kind of use that. I'm going up against like the center, which is supposed to be like the biggest player on the other team. And so I'm trying to make her as exhausted as possible by swimming her up and down the pool and trying to like create opportunities for players around me.
You're trying to drown her.
Yeah, drown in a positive way and hopefully get her kicked out of the game. Yeah.
Drown in a positive way. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Now, you have some important road tests coming up to ranked opponents in ASU and Hawaii. What's the mindset heading into those matchups?
Yeah, so we just finished up a convergence tournament with like lower division teams. And so we kind of got all the games where we win by a lot out of the way. So now it's just going to be pretty tough games from now on. And so I think just because we just like tidying up everything that we know and perfecting the things that we can so that when we get into MPSF and NC2As, then we're really at our peak. And so I think with these next few games, we can really practice getting better at the things we want to like perfect.
So I was over-listening you two talk before the break, and it sounded like you guys were using giant words that I'd never heard of and majors I've never heard of. What are we majoring in here? And take us into the academic, I guess, side at USC.
I entered in as a human biology major. I was looking to go the pre-med route, but for that you need to have a really huge passion for it, which I couldn't really find within myself. So I switched to health and human sciences, which kind of you can go on different routes. And I started taking psychology classes and sociology classes, and I added.
I'm a sociologist as well. No big deal. Yeah.
Nice. And so I added also a social work minor,
Wow.
And so I'm hopefully looking to go towards like social working in hospitals and kind of helping out the underrepresented.
Yeah, I've been watching Pitt too.
Yes.
Social worker on Pitt.
That was
That's
actually
good
really
stuff.
inspirational. The social worker in that, I was like, oh, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
That's a great show. And not only are you a two-time All-American, but you have many academic accolades. How are you able to balance the student-athlete part, both of those that goes into being a student-athlete?
Well, everyone always says it, but time management, I think there's so many distractions that can be, distracting. But I think just knowing what you need to get done and doing it right then and there instead of putting it off, or just like finding a place where you can like do all your work instead of going home, which might make you talk to your roommates, or like going somewhere like the dining hall, which I get stuck at for like hours on end because, teammates just coming in and out. But yeah, I think especially here at USC, they really emphasize, getting your work done while also being an athlete. And so I think it's kind of been easier here to knowing what I can handle and not.
All right, only 2 losses on the year, both coming from the Bruins. Got another chance to get after them at the end of the year. What's that game going to be like?
It's going to be rough. It's always like there's some words thrown around, it gets really intense. But what unfortunately, a lot of our USC teams have been losing to UCLA, which it's kind of making me a little angry. But I think it's hard to beat a team twice, and even more 3 times. So I think coming back into it, we have a lot of fire going into it. I think we can take them down.
Well, Rachel, thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck in
Thank you so
Tempe.
much.